Let me break it down for you, Mark. It goes like this. Like imagine this. You're scrolling like in some article talking about like what was it talking about? I don't know, but it was just some article. I had some free time, let's just check what's it about. And it's giving like background information, and it was normal at first, but then like right at the end, I see. I mean, not at the end. It's just like a side information before it gets to like the meat of it, and it says, "Oh yeah, peanuts aren't actually nuts." And I'm just like, "Wait, what?" And then it just goes on to what the article is talking about. Like, no, 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 no. You don't just pause. No, this doesn't work. I think, yeah, that should work. No, no, you don't just get to spill that piece of information and go about your day as if it's normal. No. What do you mean peanuts aren't nuts? It's literally in the name. Like this deception. Oh, I broke another piece. Wait, but was this part of the? No, I think this was normal. Okay. Because for all of my life, I thought peanuts were nuts. Like it was with like almonds, tree nuts. Wait, no, tree nuts is it's a category. Like almonds, walnuts. Uh, what other nuts are there? I don't know, but you get the idea, right? We all think these are nuts because, it kind of has it in the name. So it just feels like a big slap in the face because this is just very unfortunate. But thank God, no, like waiter knows this information, because imagine if a waiter does know this, and if a person with peanut allergies is just going about, if they're allergic to like different nuts, then they just say, "Oh, don't forget we're allergic to nuts," and the waiter's just gonna be like, "Oh, okay." But then the person who got the bright idea is like, "Oh, actually, peanuts aren't actually nuts, so I don't have to worry about putting nuts in this." And then the person gets allergy, and everything's gonna go to havoc. The economy is gonna go down. The world is gonna be ending. Uh, what else? What other bad stuff is gonna be? Armageddon, Doomsday. What else? What else? Oh yeah, aliens are gonna invade the Earth because we know people are gonna know this information. It's gonna be horrible. What block should be here? I feel like I feel like a brick should be there. Yeah, that works. And granite. Yeah, yeah. You see, I'm getting stuff done. I'm productive. It's not like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. You know what? I will be able to finish this. I haven't even found the design for the lighting. I'm just using torches like a poor person. What is this? Wait, I could just lawn mowed right here. Oh ho, ho ho. Wee wee. Okay, where was I? Yeah, and then it got me thinking, what other stuff is do we think is one thing, but it's not the other. Like th- this is already broken my heart finding out this information. Let's just randomly put these blocks here, and it's gonna work out. It's gonna look fantastic because that's how. Mm, yeah, that's fair. Because like, what are they gonna tell me next? Are they gonna tell me sweet potatoes aren't actually potatoes? What are they gonna tell me next? Flamingos aren't born pink? What are they gonna tell me next? Electric eels aren't actually eels? What other stuff? Oh yeah. What are they gonna tell me next? French fries aren't actually French? Yeah, don't answer none of those questions. Don't search it up. Just like sweet potatoes, yeah, of course they're potatoes. Who would? No sane person would do such a thing for it not to be the case. That's just dumb. But one thing that did bamboozle me was finding out that horseshoe crabs aren't actually crabs because like what is this? This is very unfortunate. I couldn't believe my eyes. Ooh. I remember one time I found a horseshoe crab shell and the horseshoe crabs. It was pretty cool. I wanted to take a horseshoe crab shell with me because it looks like yeah, it looks pretty cool. Who wouldn't want to have a horseshoe crab shell because it looks awesome sauce? But some kid was playing with it, and yeah, oh yeah, short funny story. There was a actually I think I put too much bread. Let me just put like a few more pieces. Yeah. Oh yeah, funny short story about that kid and the mother. The kid was playing around, and there was a bunch of jellyfish there, and it was like near the shallow water. And my cousin tells the mom, "Oh, there's a jellyfish near your kid. You should probably move it, scoot it a bit back into the land." And then she's like, "No, it's fine." And then the kid gets stung. So I kind of forgot what happened after that, but lesson was made to the kid, of course. The mom didn't do nothing wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just kids just have to be aware. It's survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest out here. You get stung, sucks to suck, dude. You gotta learn. Ooh, but another thing that's close to after that I found out is raspberries and blackberries aren't actually, they're not berries. What do you mean they're not berries? They're very, this is cursed knowledge, I tell you. I should not, for my own good, I should not be knowing this. Because it's like, it's a stab to the heart. All my, I guess that works with all knowledge, I guess. Like when you think it's one thing, but it's actually not the case. But it's different when it's like for things that don't matter. Because like it's not gonna matter if you know that that French no, I'm not gonna use that example. That raspberries aren't actually berries. That's just useless knowledge. That's what makes it hurt when you don't know that information. Because it's so dumb. But I have a theory, alright, you guys gotta listen up. I'm convinced the people that named like all these examples that to like mislead, intentionally mislead people because they just they're gonna have more opportunities to correct people. Like the person who named electric eels that, and like imagine they're having some casual conversation, and was like mentioning electric eels being eels, and the guy's like, actually, electric eels aren't eels. Thank you very much, bruh. Like that's the only reason why they would do this because there's nothing, no other. Yeah, this could work here. I put the that's fine here. You know, I'll put a brick here. So lesson be learned to not name stuff. If you got a PhD or like you discover a new species or a new plant or whatever, just just be the better person. Don't name it misleading names. Actually, I don't think people nowadays do that all that much. They just they just name species of plants and animals just super dumb names or uncreative ones at that. They just put, oh, it's from this area. All right, then it's going to be named that. No, we need some creativity in these names. They need to take some class. What class would make them better at naming stuff? I don't know, but there's surely a class for that of some kind. Surely. No, actually, no. This is gonna be granite. Okay, boom, bop, bada bop, boom. Yo, I'm cooking over here. Oh, I forgot two pieces. Yeah, that's fine. Look, the only thing annoying is I have to add like some kind of slabs over here, or like some kind of stairs. But you see, there's no good block because like let's say if I put stairs of this polished, what is it? Polished granite, and I put the stairs, but I'm trying to have it more varied, so I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet. So I refuse to do that. So I just use none of these in a form as stairs, and I just put this. You know what? Yeah, like this, and it looks so bad. It's annoying, but I kind of don't want to flatten this whole place because it's gonna look too unnatural. I want to keep that natural feel to it. But hey, we gotta work with what we gotta work. If I find some other alternative, I'll take it. But for now, I gotta deal with that. Yeah, it should be about end of the video. So see ya.